Low on vision, high on tech. CircleOfTheBlindMice.com.
Hey everybody, it's Tammy, your friendly neighborhood blind mouse that likes to babble about technology, and today I have for you the long-awaited unboxing of my iPhone 7 Plus, and this is a real unboxing. I have not unboxed this previously like I did with my Google Nexus 6P. Just finally arrived today in the mail, so I'm very excited to show it to you. The box just says iPhone, doesn't even say whether it's the iPhone 7 or 7 Plus, it just simply says iPhone. Got a picture of the phone on the front of the box, and then on the back it's got a bunch of text, and at the top, if you're trying to find where it says your storage, right at the top of the box is where it actually says. So this is the 256 gigabyte version, which leads me to my next point. Actually, before I get to that, I will say it's been quite interesting trying to get this from Apple. They sent it actually directly from China, so it's like literally hot off the press, except for the fact that it took forever today to get here. And then once it did arrive in my city, it arrived at the UPS facility. It had an arrival scan, then it had an import scan, then it had a departure scan, supposedly to depart to my house. But 2 hours later, it was arriving back at the UPS facility again, so I was a little bit peeved. So it was supposed to come yesterday, it didn't. And today, all day, it showed yesterday's information, and nobody at UPS could tell me what was going on, blah, blah, blah. Well, I had pretty much given up all hope when all of a sudden at 7 o'clock tonight, my doorbell rang, and yay, it was the UPS guy, so woohoo, so it's finally here. Apple has packaged this a little bit differently here, so if you've seen other people's videos, you'll notice that they talk about a tab. So if you're wondering where on earth this tab is, there is just a tab at the bottom of the box, which, let's see if I can contrast it. It's a clear tab, so I don't know, what can I hold it against so that you can see it? I don't think it's going to show up very well. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, you can kind of see it here for those of you with partial sight. So it's just this little tab, and I think I'm just supposed to peel it. Oh, here we go. Oh yay, it's working. Let's listen to the sound. I love that sound. I am such a geek. Wow, and it's nice. It just comes off just like that in one go. Oh, that's so lovely. Anyway, you'll notice that I don't have the black box where the box is all black. And for those of you who missed my live Facebook broadcast from 2 weeks ago, I actually decided to go with the matte black instead of the jet black because, well, go look at my Facebook video. I'm not going to repeat all that all over again, but I have a video on my Facebook page, facebook.com/circleoftheblindmice, where I talk about why I actually switched my order out. Part of it was the delay, but part of it was some other things, which you'll have to watch my other video to learn about. So the box feels really nice. The iPhone on the front is actually tactile, like on the front of the picture. It's a little bit of a 3D effect, which is really nice. And this is my first iPhone since I got an iPhone 4 way back in 2010. For those of you who've been watching my channel, you'll know that in 2012 I defected over to Android because Apple was taking forever to release a big phone. And if you've seen my iOS versus Android videos, you'll know I am an Android girl. I do prefer Android, but there are certain things I actually really love about iOS and prefer it with iOS. So you might be thinking, well, why is she going back to iOS when she prefers Android? Especially after in my iOS versus Android video I talked about how expensive and overpriced Apple is. And I hummed and hawed, but I'll tell you, and if you saw my video where I talked about my thoughts on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, this phone is the closest that Apple has come to what I was wanting when I defected. If they had released this back in 2012, I probably never would have defected to Android. So for those of you who can't see what I'm doing, I've just removed the lid, and this box is really nice. It's typical Apple fodder here. It's a nice heavy-duty box. As I'm sure you know, we've got the usual documentation here that none of the sighted people will ever read, and definitely the low vision people are not going to read because it's too friggin' small. Oh, and I feel Apple stickers, which I have never used in my life. Maybe I will troll one of my Android friends and stick an Apple sticker on one of their phones one day. Yeah, no, probably not. I'm gonna walk around with these. But I'm weird. I save all this stuff in case I ever want to sell the phone like I did with my iPhone. And I'm fighting with that, so I guess I will just put that off to the side and hopefully not throw it on the table. Actually, you know what? I'm OCD. I have to put these back where they belong, so just one moment. Okay, all is right with the world. This is now back in its rightful place. And here, is my iPhone in all its shiny glory. So I'll just carefully... Oh, and it's even got a little plastic thing at the bottom of the box where to help you lift it out. Oh. It is so pretty. Apple, why didn't you release this sooner? But better late than never. So I'm going to, actually I will turn this on. If I can remember how to do that, because they moved all the buttons on me. Oh yay, it has power. So we're going to let that boot up. And we will take a look at what else is in the box. So we've got the charging brick, USB charging brick. We have the lightning to, just the headphones with lightning adapter, which is this. And where did they stick everything else? Oh, I feel some other stuff here. I know there's a piece that people say they keep almost throwing away. Let me see. This must be... Okay, this is the lightning to USB cable, which of course you're going to use with your charging brick. And where is the part that everybody says they always keep throwing away? That must be lumped in with the headphones. Okay, let's explore the headphone thing. I see now why the sighted people were like, how do I open this without killing it? Because there's a tab here at the top. Is it looping through anything? I don't want to rip it. How do you get this out? Okay, here's the end of the headphone thingy. And it's kind of looped through here. Do I need to... Whoops. Oh! Oh! Okay, no! Alright, let me show you this so that you don't accidentally somehow lose this. Okay, so this thingy here, this square thingy, is where your headphones live. And on the back of it, they've actually got that $9 dongle that is the lightning to headphone adapter. Yeah, so people are probably like just yanking their headphones out of here and somehow you almost miss it that it's in the back, but here it is. Yeah, that is pretty small. I can totally see how people could lose this. So this is the lightning end, and this is the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. But I only have one headphone pair currently that I use that isn't crap. I have like all the Apple headphones that are crap, so I have a much better pair that I bought actually when I had my iPhone, I almost said my iPhone 10, my iPhone 4. So I'm just going to stick this on those, and when I don't need it, I'll just take it off and put it in the little case I have. So problem solved. I don't anticipate losing this, but I guess it depends on how many pairs of headphones and whatnot you got. Okay, so we got that out without breaking anything. Now how do you get the headphones out of here without killing this lovely little setup that they have? Okay, I got it, I think. No, I don't have it. Sighted people, how the heck did you do this? Oh my god, I'm gonna end up killing this thing, I know I am. Okay, so these sides fold out, but they got stuff in them, so you can't. Oh, okay, so you undo the headphone. Okay, so I've squeezed the headphone through the hole. Can I squeeze the other one through the hole? Okay, so I've now got the headphone squeezed inside of this boxy thing. And I think that just made it worse. Okay, the joys of being visually impaired. And you know, it's so funny because I was watching the Apple Bite guy. Oh my god, I just totally forgot. Brian Tong. I was watching Brian Tong try to open this without killing it. And oh, did you guys see his video? He did a video to unbox the iPhone blindfolded, and I was just laughing so hard watching that. And he was like, oh, it's the first blindfolded iPhone unboxing. I'm like, no, it wasn't, because Daniel Amescua, I'm screwing up your name, Danny, I'm sorry. Daniel, oh my god, Daniel Amescua, I think is how you say his last name. I should know, I watch his channel all the time. But yeah, he actually did an iPhone unboxing, and he is totally blind. I think he beat Brian Tong to it, but Brian Tong's unboxing was very entertaining, and I can totally see why nobody can open this without killing this thing. I have no idea how people are opening this without, as Flossie Carter would say, going all beast mode on it and like totally ripping it all to shreds, because I have no... Okay, so there's tabs here. So I'm in the back of the square now, and there's like... feels like there's these tabs. I don't know how to open it without I don't want to kill this, because I really like to... I try to keep my packaging for phones exactly as I got it, or as close to new as I can. Oh my lord, this is ridiculous. I don't know how to not kill this. Okay, I gotta pause this and see if I can figure this out. If I can't, I'm just gonna go all beast mode, as Flossie Carter would say. You now know half of the YouTube channels I watch when I am just watching YouTube instead of creating YouTube videos. Yeah, this is nuts. Apple, what were you thinking? This is supposed to be user friendly. Aren't you all about simplicity? I have never had this much trouble opening anything on an Android device. Holy crap. Okay, I gotta look at this with my magnifying glass. One moment, I'll be back. Okay, I give up. I'm gonna have to totally tear this thing apart. I don't know how people are opening this without totally ripping it all apart. But the only thing I can see is this tab here. I'm gonna try and pull it and see if that does anything. It almost feels like there's adhesive or glue with this tab, and I don't know if that's going to do anything. Hopefully these don't go flying. I'm sorry, nice cardboard enclosure, but oh my god, you can't even... Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay, so there's like kind of like adhesive-y, gluey kind of stuff. I don't know if that was the way I was supposed to open this, but this is ridiculous. It's like, oh boy. Okay, so my headphones are oh no, now the headphones are stuck in these side things here. Apple, what are you doing? This is not user friendly. Okay, so I'm gonna have to, I'm sorry, rest in peace cardboard. Okay, so it's kind of gluey things here. Yay, we're free, we're free. This is the most ridiculous freaking setup I've ever seen for headphones. Just wind them already. Okay. That was interesting. Okay, I figured out the key to undoing this ridiculous contraption. So these little things where the headphones were kind of wound through, they've got little tabs here that are sort of sticky. I don't know how well those will stick back, but they basically fold these in here. And then this top thing where the headphones stuck out of, there's a bit of adhesive on this part here, which you just fold. So basically it's all kind of glued together, but you know, no matter how gently you try to unstick that, you're not going to get this back together. So I might as well have just ripped the whole darn thing apart. So anyway, enough of that. So here are the headphones, which probably sound not so great and don't fit anybody. Yeah, they're typical plastic Apple headphones, with the exception that instead of having the headphone 3.5mm adapter, they've got a lightning adapter. So I've heard people say they don't sound as good as, say, a regular pair of 3.5mm headphone. I've heard other people claim that, oh, because it's digital, it's going to sound better. I don't know about that, but I do have a really good pair of headphones that have really super heavy bass. They'll sound a lot better than these, so I'll have to try them out and see. I'll maybe compare them to the 3.5mm headphone jack on my Nexus 6P versus the lightning adapter. But enough about all that, because we all really want to see the phone if it hasn't died during all my babbling. Alrighty, so here's the beautiful iPhone 7 Plus 256GB, and I will now proceed to peel the plastic off of the back. Everybody, silence please. And here comes the really nice part. One moment. I love the way that sounds. Did I mention that I'm a total geek? Alright, so here it is, my iPhone 7 Plus in matte black. And I really should go grab my Apple remote, so if you saw my video on Facebook as to why I went with the matte black, you'll know what that's all about. But let me just go grab my Apple TV remote. So let's see if this matte on the remote is anything similar to the matte black on the iPhone. Okay, and of course this has got fingerprints on the remote, but let me just look at it off camera for a second. Yeah, they're pretty similar. Of course, this is nice and brand new, and it's not a trackpad on the actual iPhone, so, but they're kind of similar. So you'll notice that the remote has a glossy kind of jet black, just like the iPhone, the jet black iPhone, and it's got this matte black for the trackpad. That kind of gives you a clue what I was talking about in my Facebook video if you haven't seen it. I'm glad I decided to go with the matte black. So let's just put it beside my Nexus 6P to do a size comparison. Wow, so my Nexus 6P is actually a little bit taller than the iPhone 7 Plus. That's amazing, but it looks like the 7 might be a little bit wider. Let's see. Mind you, I've got my case on my Nexus 6P. Let me see if I can just get my case off real quick to give a more accurate comparison. So let's try that again with the height comparison. Without the case, it feels like it's just a little bit taller than the iPhone 7 Plus. And let's just see width-wise, going from left to right. Yeah, the width-wise, it seems like the iPhone is a little bit. Yep, the iPhone is just a hair wider than the Google Nexus 6P, but definitely shorter. So it's like a hair shorter, but a hair wider than the Google Nexus 6P. And let's just see for thickness. The iPhone 7 Plus is, yeah, it's just slightly thicker than the Google Nexus 6P as well. And let me just look at those colors, because the Nexus 6P it's a gray, dark gray, but to me it really kind of looks like black. They're calling it gray though. Yeah, it looks very similar to the matte black on the iPhone. Very nice. I'm very happy with both my choices. Alright, so let's see how easy this is to set up with low vision. Are they going to let me turn voiceover on? I wonder. Let's try it.
Voiceover on.
Yes! This is what I miss. I used to be able to do this on my Note 4. Actually, I can still do it on my Note 4, but I don't have a SIM card for my Note 4 anymore. But, oh, just to be able to turn voiceover on and off. I'm sorry, let me just geek out a moment. I just have to do that once more.
Voiceover off. Voiceover on.
So for those of you who don't know what I did, I just triple tapped the home button, which, as I tested out in the Apple Store, is, as you know, is no longer a clickable home button, but it feels interesting. It's a tactic home button, which the Nexus 6P actually has a tactic fingerprint scanner on the back. So I've already gotten used to that with this, but this just vibrates the button locally on the Nexus 6P. This
Hello.
feels like it's vibrating.
No SIM card installed.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. This just feels like it's vibrating the whole bottom of the phone, as I mentioned before, and I'm sure you've heard 1,000,001 people mention. Okay, so let's just see if it's going to let me skip this part.
No SIM card installed. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Setup. English. Button.
So I'll now attempt to do as much of the setup as I can with voiceover.
Español. Button.
No.
English. Button. English. Back button.
Okay.
Select your country or region. Heading. United States.
No.
Button. Afghanistan.
Nope.
Albania. Austria. Canada. Button.
Wow, okay, so the setup process was interesting. Number one, I had to insert my SIM card, and I must say that the SIM card ejection is not as easy as it is on the Nexus 6P. The process is the same. Well, in theory, it's the same. You stick your SIM ejector tool into this little teeny hole. Let's just autofocus again, just like it was on my Nexus 6P video. But this little black blob there, kind of in the middle of the screen, that is the SIM ejector. You'll find it on the right-hand side of your phone underneath the power button. So you stick your SIM ejector in there, and then what's supposed to happen is the SIM card tray is supposed to pop out. Except for with the iPhone 7 Plus, at least, you have to really stick it in there hard, and they say, oh, just do it firmly, but this is beyond firm. I eventually got it to work once I realized you really had to press super hard. With the Nexus 6P, you just applied relatively light pressure. You didn't have to extort yourself to try and get the SIM out. So that's one difference right there. You're probably going to have, I don't know if I just have a finicky phone, but chances are your phone will probably be a similar experience. It's a lot easier to eject the SIM on the Nexus 6P. Just saying, putting it out there. But anyway, once I finally got that ordeal over with, and by the way, you need to turn your phone off before you do this, so I had to turn my phone off and start the process all over again. But I made it through the setup process, got my Wi-Fi set up and all that fun stuff. So now I'm at the fingerprint scanner, which is, it's the home button setup, which you probably have seen in other videos, but I'm actually going to do this with voiceover on. So let's just let voiceover take over here.
Meet the new home button. Heading. Make your iPhone experience even more personal by choosing the click that's right for you.
So this is those 3 click settings I was talking about on one of my previous videos.
Get started. Button. Get start back button. Tap an option below, then press the home button to give it a try. To set the one you like best, tap next. 1 button. 3. Press the home button to 3. 1 button.
Oh, interesting. Oh, because it must be already set on 2. Let me just look at this off camera for a second. Okay, yeah, so it must already be set on 2. And so let's try that first.
Selected. 2. Dimmed. Button.
Okay, so now I'm going to just try 1.
1 button. Selected. 1 dimmed.
Okay, let's try 3.
Press the home button to try it. 2 button. 2 button. Press the home button to try it.
I want to
2
do 3.
button.
What the heck? I pressed the home button.
Selected. 1 dimmed. Button. 3 button.
Oh, here we go.
Selected. 3 dimmed.
like 3? It almost seems like it's too much.
Selected. 3.
I'm kind of liking 1 or 2. I think 1's good enough actually. 2 is a little bit... 3 is overkill, 2 is okay, but I think I will leave it on 1 for a while, see how we like
Selected.
that.
1. Dim. Button. Selected. 1. Dim.
Okay, how do I get over
Selected.
this now?
1.
Oops.
Dim. Next.
Oh,
Button.
there we go. Next.
Next.
Okay.
Choose how you would like to view iPhone. Zoom shows larger text and controls. Standard fits more on screen. You can change this at any time in settings.
Okay, I'm having trouble seeing the picture, but I think the one on the left basically it has 1 more rows on the left hand side. So I am actually going to try it with the zoomed rows because I always make my icons big on my Android phone, so I would really like to have bigger rows on this one.
Choose how you would like to view iPhone. Standard. Button. Zoom. Button. Zoom.
Okay.
Display zoom. Back button.
Oh, am I done? No, I think that's just giving me a picture
Standard. Button. 1 of selected. Zoomed. Button. 2 of 2.
Okay.
2
Not
of 2.
that much of a difference actually.
Selected. Zoom.
Here, I'll show
2
you
of 2.
guys one more time. So this is zoomed. And this is standard.
Button. Selected. Standard.
So there's
1 of
just
2.
like a slight
Zoomed. Button. 2 of 2.
slight
Selected.
difference in
Zoomed. 2
size.
of
But
2.
you know what? The bigger the better, so what the heck, I'll stick with that. Then what do I do? How do I get out
A
here?
sample home screen display that shows app icons at different display sizes.
Okay.
A sample home screen. A sample home. Selected. Zoomed. Button. Standard. Next.
Oh,
Button.
there we go.
Next. Welcome to iPhone.
Am I done yet? Okay. Yes, welcome.
Welcome to iPhone.
Right.
Get started.
I am out of practice with
Get
this.
started.
Can you tell?
Button.
It's been like 4 years since I had to set up my iPad. And like 6 years since I had to set up an iPhone. Oh, and now wants my password, but I've already got my fingerprint.
Enter
Okay.
passcode.
Yay!
Messages.
Oh, there's my old
Don't touch
wallpaper. Hello,
Messages.
iOS. Okay, I'm gonna
Don't
turn
tap to
voiceover
open.
off for a sec. Actually, no, let me just see. Oops, I just tapped the shrink the screen option by mistake. Let's just see if I can get the side widget drawer.
Page
To,
1 of 8. Search. Text field.
this the
No
widget
upcoming
drawer?
events. Remind.
That looks like the calendar.
Page 2 of 8. Page 1 of 8. No upcoming events. Saturday, October 15. Page 2 of 8.
This must be the widget drawer. Okay, sorry, it's hard to see what I'm doing through the camera. But, yay, so I did it. My old wallpaper's there. My 8 billions of apps, half of which I'm probably going to delete. There was something important I did want to mention. So I did have some issues. Rather than doing a fresh install, I decided to do a restore from a previous iPhone backup from like 8 billion years ago when I had my iPhone 4. I went on to iTunes, did the backup thing, or the restore thing, and then it got stuck. The restore part was fine. It was when it got to the iCloud part. It was restoring from iCloud. Must have been 3 hours. I'm like, okay, this is not normal. I know I had a lot of, well, actually no, on my iPhone 4 I didn't have a lot of anything because I had like a, I think I had like it was either an 8 gigabyte or a 16 gigabyte iPhone 4, but I really didn't have a lot on there. I do, of course, have a crap load of music now because I have over 5,000 songs in my music library, and I'm still not even done converting all my stuff from CD into iTunes. Yeah, that'll take me the rest of my life to do that. But anyhow, so it took a long time and it's not supposed to. So I went on YouTube and I saw that there's some problems with the iPhone 6S and 6 Plus S where, or 6S Plus rather, where people would have basically the same kind of problem, and some people's phones were actually bricked and they had to go and get a new phone after they just got a new phone. It's like, oh my god, I hope not. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna turn the phone off and see what happens when I turn it on. So I turned it off, turned it back on, and it started the setup process again, but then it brought me back to that iCloud restore. And I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna be stuck again for 3 hours. But somehow something worked that time and it allowed me to continue on. So thankfully, I did not get stuck the second time around in the forever iCloud restore, and I was able to continue on from there. So my suggestion is if you are coming back to iPhone or upgrading from a previous iPhone, and this is your first time switching to a new iPhone, don't do the iCloud restore. My suggestion is just start fresh from a new iPhone if you can, and just kind of set stuff up again that way. And then you're supposed to do an update, which is supposed to prevent that problem from happening. Why it worked a second time for me with that, because I never even had a chance to update because I was stuck in this restore mode, right? But anyway, just let it, giving you a heads up. If you've watched a lot of YouTube videos like I do from a lot of the fellow geeks out there, a lot of them will say I'm just going to do a fresh install. This is why. So now you know. So as far as the phone goes, let's actually take a look at the phone itself. So this is the lovely screen. And so as I mentioned when I did my quick video in the Apple Store, this iPhone now has 2 stereo speakers, if you haven't heard before, so that now the earpiece is also a stereo speaker. So far the sound sounds awesome. I haven't had a chance to play with any music yet, but I'll be sure to report back on that in a future video and compare with, oh my goodness, it even has one of my old dog pictures. Sorry, I'm just like, shiny. But yeah, anyway, I just totally forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I will do an sorry, it's like 4 something stupid o'clock in the morning now because I waited so long for this phone to do all its restore and everything. But yeah, I'll report back on the audio in a future video. Meanwhile though, let me just show you around the phone. So you got your earpiece up here, which doubles as one of the stereo speakers, the front facing stereo speaker. On the bottom you have got, on the right hand side here, you have got the bottom stereo speaker, and this side here is not actually a speaker at all. I believe there is a microphone in there, but they put the speaker grill on just for aesthetics. And then here we have the lightning port. On the top we have absolutely nothing. So if you haven't heard already, if you've been under a rock the last few months, no more headphone jack. You've got to use this bottom lightning port here for your headphone jacks. So there are some creative ways you can get around that, so just look around YouTube if you are concerned about it charging and listening to music at the same time. And you have wired headphones. Then on the right hand side here we've got the power button and the SIM tray, as I mentioned before. I'll just show you that close up so you can hopefully see. My phone is blurring it again. And then we have on the left hand side we've got the mute switch. Oh, how I have missed you. Android phones don't have a freaking mute switch. So nice to just be able to flip that. Now, of course, on a Samsung, on a Note phone that doesn't explode, you can flip your phone over if you enable that option and have it mute that way. But on the Nexus, you don't really have an instant mute. You have to go into the notification and mute it that way, and it just takes longer, or of course press the volume down really quickly. But still, nothing beats a quick mute switch. And then of course we have the volume up and down. And then on the back, of course, we have the dual camera and the lovely little logo. Here in Canada, we do not have carrier branding on the outside of the phone like the poor folks in the States do. While I'm here, I'll just grab my Spigen case here, actually, that made its debut over on my Facebook page. So this is the Spigen crystal clear case. It's not a heavy duty case, but I tend not to, I don't really like OtterBox cases, so. But yeah, I had this case for a month while I was waiting for the darn phone to get here. So it's just a nice crystal clear case. Apparently these go yellow after a while in the corners, but with my vision I probably won't even notice it. I haven't noticed that problem with my Nexus 6P case. I've got the same kind of case for the Nexus 6P, so. And I think I should be putting the top in first, so let me try that. There we go, voila. So let's see if my theory about the case totally kind of giving the same kind of look and feel as the jet black iPhone. So yeah, the shine doesn't quite come through on camera as I'm looking through it, but when I look at it off of camera, it looks pretty sharp. The jet black would have been a little darker, which I would have preferred, but I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna wait like till November for the phone. I'm like, matte black is good enough. I like black phones. This looks pretty nice, and it looks nicer. The phone, when you look at it on film, it doesn't do it justice with the case on it, but trust me, it looks a lot nicer in person. So that is it, my unboxing of the iPhone 7 Plus 256 gigabyte version. Over the coming months, I will be sharing my experience as a low vision user using this phone. I'm going to be comparing it to the Google Nexus 6P with running stock Android, just to see how the experiences compare. I'm also going to be sharing my thoughts and experiences of returning to iPhone after being away from it. It's been 4 years since I had an iPhone, so I'm excited to get back into it again. Someone asked me if I was going to use this as my daily driver, and I'm definitely going to use it for a while. I'm still in love with my Nexus 6P, so we'll see if I fall in love with the latest and greatest version of iOS. Of course, it's got Force Touch, it's got the new widget drawer. I am excited. I'm excited to come back to iPhone. This is the phone Apple should have released 4 years ago. So happy to have the big screen, and I know they did the 6 Plus, but I'd already defected by then. It was a year after I defected, and it was kind of like too little too late. But what made me come back to the dark side, as Danny would say, is the dual speakers was a huge one. The space, 256 gigabytes. On the Nexus 6P, it only went up to 128, but I forgot to mention in my Nexus video, I ended up getting the 32 gigabyte version of the Nexus just because I didn't want to fork out $200 more for 128 gigabytes, especially since I already kind of knew in my heart that I was going to lose my mind and get like multiple phones and come back to the dark side on the iPhone. So I've got the 256 gig on this one. So it really was, for me, it was the space and the speakers that drew me back. And Force Touch is cool, but Android has kind of a similar thing, long press, so that really wasn't a factor for me. I like the new widget drawer. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. If you made it this far, stay tuned for more videos on the iPhone 7 Plus and the Google Nexus 6P. I'll do some comparisons as to the ease of use with the camera. I did mention in my previous video that I did on the Apple Store that I found that the second camera, that 2x, you're supposed to press to switch to it. I found that hard to see. So I'm going to try it out with voiceover and we'll see how that compares. Also compare that to using TalkBack in the camera on the Nexus 6P and whatever else I can think of. If there's anything that you want me to compare between the Nexus 6P and the iPhone 7 Plus, be sure to drop a comment below. If there's anything you want me to cover with regards to the iPhone 7 Plus, again, drop me a comment below. And yeah, I'm going to just shut up now because I'm starting to get really tired. So thanks very much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Here at Circle of the Blind Mice, I believe technology enriches the lives of those of us with visual impairments. My mission is to help you learn tech, use tech, and embrace tech. Please share this video to help spread the word to your fellow blind mice, and if you're new here, please subscribe for new videos every other Saturday. Thanks for watching.